So,
All right, hello everybody. It's Billy and
and Joe,
from the Billy and Joe Top 10 show. Sorry we've been away for a little while. Both Joe and I can get a little busy since we don't get paid by big conglomerates and big endorsements and have money falling out of our pockets when we walk down the street. So we apologize for not seeing you last week. I would. Joe Carney is the host of Indie's Local Flavor. You can find that at anchor.fm, also on Google Play, iTunes, SoundCloud. You can find my show, The Keeping the Nostalgia Alive. Both me and Joe's show, you can find also the Billy and Joe Top 10 show, you can find on YouTube. We're probably going to get our own YouTube channel here soon, but right now you can type in the Keeping the Nostalgia Alive show on YouTube, subscribe to it, and you'll get all of our shows. And also, we have a Facebook page too, which reached over 100 likes, which ain't diddly squat anymore. But
I'll
but
take it.
before we get started, I have a bill to pay, and I hope Joe doesn't mind.
Of course, go for it.
Remember, don't get stuck with another sticker company. Stick with StickerYeti.com for all of your sticker needs and much, much more. Sticker Yeti is the place for all of your needs when it comes to stickers. Check them out today.
Well, wasn't that great?
Outstanding. Kind of sticky.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We'll leave a little bit. We'll leave a link where you can kind of see the work they do and everything like that. We're getting ready to do from Broad Ripple High School, the old center court logo, and they're going to do stickers for us. So if anybody wants to put one of those, because the gym, the high school isn't around any longer. So, but with that being said, Joe and I are going to talk about our home state, which we're both homers.
Yes.
And Joe, I see you got the memo. You're wearing red today.
Yes, I did. I got the email, the text, and the fax.
Well, really, you didn't get squat. It was just luck of the draw, wasn't it?
Right.
I got my old
Great.
Bobby. I got my old Bobby Knight sweater on here. See
Oh,
how
nice.
you do that there?
Or,
Yeah.
or you could say great minds think alike.
Uh, that's true. That's true. So what we are going to chat about today, we will tell you about what's coming up. Both Joe and I are cartoon crazy people.
Yes,
So
sir.
so on, we came up with the idea of on our next show we're going to go. It's never the top 10. So why is it the Billy and Joe top 10 show? It ends up being 10 plus 1 or 20. So it's the Billy and Joe top 10 show and more.
Or to infinity and beyond.
There you go, Buzz Lightyear. Someone's poisoned the water hole.
Right.
So today's topic, for those who are tuning in and have subscribed, are people from Indiana, famous people from Indiana, people
I'm
that you
saying I'm saying my top 20 Hoosiers.
top 20 Hoosiers, people you're going to hear people like, whoa, he's from Indiana.
Yep.
And my wife hates it when. Matter of fact, though, when I do tell my wife, "Oh, you know where he's from," she gets it nail on the head because I'm always asking about someone who's from Indiana. So she does. She wins that game all the time. She hates it, but she wins it.
She knows the
So
drill.
so how did you divide yours, Joe?
I did 11 to 20 sports figures, and then I did 1 to 10 celebrities.
Okay, and I'm just going to go down from 20 to number one on mine. So
Okay.
wherever you would like to start.
Okay. Sure. This is a total homer for me. He played for the Brooklyn Dodgers and with Jackie Robinson, pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers, Carl Erskine from Anderson, Indiana.
Oh, very good. And Carl was actually really good friends with Jumpin' Johnny Wilson, who was from Anderson, Indiana, also.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that's cool. And matter of fact, I think we just lost Jumpin' Johnny Wilson maybe 6 months ago, and Carl Erskine's still alive.
Yes, he is. He was the
Yeah,
mayor of Anderson for a while.
yeah. Okay, so me,
Yes.
I am from Indiana.
Oh,
I would
yeah.
I would be the best salesperson for the Chamber of Commerce because I'm just an Indiana homer. I'm just, people always say, "Man, why don't you move back to Indiana and get a job?" I'm like, no, I kind of like promoting Indiana from Texas. You know what I'm saying? Right now,
Sure.
right down here in Texas, where right now we're having a melee down at the Minute Maid Park because the Dodgers are throwing head shots at the Astros for cheating in the 2017 World Series.
Oh, wow. And,
Yeah. Yep.
wow.
Okay, so yeah, I was a little fun tossing that in there, but I guess Joanne Worley,
Don't know that one.
Laugh-In?
Oh, okay, sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah,
yeah.
I know you're talking the brunette.
Yeah, and a lot of movies and a lot of sitcoms and a lot of TV. So that's Joanne Worley. Yeah, some people are like, "Who the hell is that?" Look it up. Google. All right, who else you got on your list there, Joe?
From South Bend, your favorite professional coach, Greg Popovich.
Oh, well, I have someone who has more championships than
Hmm.
Greg Popovich on my choice, which is the great, the legend. There'll never be another person like that. There'll never be someone who wins 10 NCAA championships. That is the one, the only, the Wizard of Westwood, John Wooden.
I was in a hurry. I forgot to add him on here.
Yeah. See, but that's the neat thing. We go back and forth with this, and man, I'd probably been unliked if I wouldn't have said John Wooden. What the hell?
Sure,
You
sure.
know,
Yeah, he was amazing.
and I'm
But
wearing the
but he
Bobby
did.
Knott sweater. Basketball. What the
But
heck?
behind the curtain with John Wooden, he did talk trash.
Oh yeah, and it probably really wasn't up on the up and up. There probably was some cheating going on, or some payola, or some kind of scandal that
Yeah,
always, or an agent, or something like that. But it probably happens everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
All
especially
right,
at that time.
all right. Roll out your next one, buddy.
Your favorite high school? He's the backup point guard for the Milwaukee Bucks, George Hill.
Ooh, what a nice little shout out. What a nice little
That's
shout
right.
out there, man. That's nice. And see, I like how we can go yin for yang, or nip and tuck, or whatever. She was born and raised 25 feet outside of let's see, the east doors of Broad Ripple High School, and that
Mhm.
is Jane Pauley.
Great broadcaster.
Yeah, Jane Pauley. And now she has of course, the CBS morning show. But her house. I would walk by her house when I'd walk out the east side of Broad Ripple High School, and just something that was burnt into my memory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great broadcaster.
And married to a cartoonist.
Don't know that. I couldn't tell you. I
She
don't
is. But okay, all right, go ahead.
know. The proud member of Lawrence North and the Ohio State grad, Mike Connolly, is he with Denver Nuggets now?
You know what, man? I don't know. I've lost a little bit of just a little bit of respect for the NBA, so I haven't followed it quite as much. I mean, I'll follow George just because the broader tag, but Conley had a nice little teammate, Greg Oden, when he was at Lawrence North, and
Yeah,
arguably probably one of the best high school basketball teams in the state of Indiana. Although it was class basketball, but in no class basketball, I'd have to put Oscar Robert. I'd have to put Oscar Robertson up there, but and one of his Crispus Attucks teams. But
yeah.
yeah, yep.
So who you got?
Okay, so I have Colonel Harlan Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken founder,
Okay, of
born in
course.
Henryville, Indiana.
Okay,
And I guess Henryville just wasn't big enough for him. I didn't have enough place for fast food restaurants. But
no way.
the inventor, or the person that came up with Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Harlan Sanders, who is from Indiana, which a lot of people probably just don't know.
And wasn't he like a failure till he was like 50?
Yes, yes. It's kind of like that Abraham Lincoln story, that he failed so many times before he became a success. Which,
Yeah,
which, which is good in both ways, and you a great someone to look up to and be like, don't give up, because
yeah,
just about that time you do give up, maybe you're just setting yourself up for success.
yeah. No kidding.
Yeah. So
Um, the coolest race car owner, in my opinion, of the Indy 500 track is Sarah Fisher.
very interesting. Interesting. We could probably, there's enough drivers that are probably from the state of Indiana that we could do just IndyCar drivers from the state of Indiana. But very interesting. Very interesting. This is going back old school. Only the older folks in the crowd are going to know this one, but Red Skelton.
Oh, I love Red Skelton. All I want for Christmas is my two front teeth.
Yep. And the Fuller Brush Man.
Right, right.
But good, clean comedy.
Hmm.
Probably a little bit ahead of his time. You can catch a bunch of his stuff on local TV channels and, of course, on YouTube. But
Yeah,
a really, really funny, funny guy.
definitely, without a doubt. Um, I hails from Evansville and was a Yankee, and I think he coached as well. Don Mattingly.
Yes, 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 yes. And he's from Evansville. He played high school basketball. His brother Jerry Mattingly also played basketball. He died in a farming accident, I think. But Don, I think, was the manager of the Dodgers.
Yes,
And
yeah, that sounds
yeah,
right.
yeah. But yes, a great baseball player. I loved that mustache when he was with the Yankees.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
there's a lot of people. You can almost go city to city with famous people from the state of Indiana. That pocket city, Evansville, is probably a doozy.
Then you got Calvert Cheney, which I didn't put on my list,
Yeah.
but he was great as well.
So let's see. Might as well jump Panama.
Oh, yeah, sure, of course.
Uh, a extended an EP called "Crazy from the Heat."
Yes.
Yankee Rose.
Yep.
Uh, I wish they all could be California girls.
Right.
Sensible shoes. Uh,
Yeah.
David Lee Roth.
He, I love David Lee Roth, but the way he looks now, no, thank you.
Yeah, he freaks me out. And also too,
Okay.
as a kid, you're like, someone should have told him, just don't open your mouth, because before he opens your mouth, you're like, I got to be like him. I want to be like him. Oh my god, oh he's so cool. And then he opened his mouth, and you're like, oh, I'm embarrassed.
I guess when he was taking time off, he was an EMT.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I think out there in California, he was an EMT with the ambulance, with
But
the ambulance
those
crew.
rock and roll stars, though, man. Tour show after show after show,
Yeah.
and that's got to get to your voice. And he's having a little rough time. I've seen with his voice on some videos on YouTube. But he got out of Indiana very quickly, though.
Right. Exactly. Do you know who discovered Van Halen?
Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I have a funny story about Gene Simmons.
okay.
Gene Simmons died. The actress. And I messaged him, and this was probably about 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I said, "Man," my wife said, "Oh, I saw Gene Simmons died." And I said, "No, that was the actress that died. I think Gene's still alive." And Gene sent me back a message and said, "Yep, I'm still alive. Great actress, and I'm sad that she has passed." So that's my little interaction with.
I don't. That he did his first interview, and you can pull this up on YouTube. But everybody was really freaked out by him. But there was a famous actress who called him out. Called him out the first time he was on the interview, and she says, "You don't scare me at all." So it's pretty funny.
It's also interesting. I think he spent 3 years. They weren't married, but he spent 3 years with Diana Ross.
Huh?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Because
but I don't think they were married. They didn't have any kids, but they shacked up, and I think it was for about 3 years. But it was, ain't no mountain high enough. Diana Ross. So that's kind of an interesting, odd, odd combo. That could be the Billy and Joe Top 10 Show odd combos.
that's all day.
Yes. Okay, so you ever heard of Ernie Pyle?
He's on my list. Yes,
Oh,
I have.
good. Ernie Pyle, a fantastic war correspondent. There's the Ernie Pyle School of Journalism, I think, if I'm not saying that incorrectly, in Bloomington.
There's still
Uh,
journalism alive.
what's that?
A lot journalism still alive somewhere.
Yeah. It's a lot of duct tape to keep it together.
Yes.
Today's journalism is not journalism. Today is
No, it's
just,
not.
it should be called ratings.
Yes, without a doubt.
Today on ratings, actually, I don't know if you watched Hee Haw as a kid.
Of course I did.
But every time this news comes on, man, I want to start saying, gloom,
Gloom,
despair, and
despair, and
agony
agony
on
on
me.
me.
Sweet Dark depression, excessive
Depression is
misery.
free.
If it
If
weren't
it
for
wasn't for
bad
bad
luck,
luck,
I
I'd
have no
have no
luck at
luck at
all.
all.
Gloom,
Gloom,
despair, and
despair,
agony on
agony on
me.
me.
The Bucks are going to roll in now, brother.
Let me call ASCAP for BMI.
Yeah, but Ernie Pyle, that's great. Ernie Pyle, too, was the first stamp I got when I started stamp collecting for a 6-month period when I was a child. You know, after 6 months, you go on to baseball cards, and after that, you know, beer cans, and after that, the little mini helmets in the quarter machine by the outlet as you leave Kmart, that kind of stuff.
You didn't do comic books?
No, I didn't.
Oh, man.
Okay. I didn't. I wasn't into comic books, but I just wasn't. Baseball cards, Star Wars figures.
No, me too.
The important stuff.
Yes.
Okay, stuff. Man. So Ernie Pyle, great journalist. If some of you youngsters out there don't know who he is, read up on him. Just a fantastic human being.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Fantastic story.
Yes.
He's considered royalty in Anderson. Played for your coach, Bobby Knight. Played for a ton of NBA teams. He could have been mayor if he really wanted to, but it didn't work out. Bobby Wilkerson.
Oh, yeah, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what a man. And once again, that's fabulous too, man, because Bobby is a part of a team something that will never probably happen again, and that is a men's college basketball team going undefeated for the season.
Right. Exactly. Perfect.
So if you want to see undefeated for a season, you keep following the Connecticut women's basketball program. But it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen in the men's.
No.
But great guy from what I understand.
Yeah, definitely. I've never met him, but that's what I hear.
Yeah. I have Carol Lombard. She was an actress in a lot of movies.
Sure.
Yeah.
Died in a plane crash.
Yes. In a lot of movies, did a lot of great movies. It's always fun to go back and watch an old black and white movie and, you know, see it without the technology that we have today. You know, it's always interesting and very nostalgic, keeping the nostalgia alive. Very nostalgic to watch those kind of movies and, you know, what life was all about before we've either A, become very lucky, or B, become very cursed.
Yes. It's your favorite Irishman from the Fries That Lick. It's let's see, player coach and GM Larry Bird.
Ooh, the Birdman, the hick from French Lick.
Correct.
Man, we can sit here and talk a half hour about Larry Bird and his accomplishments, his trash talking, his everything. So
yeah,
but yeah, very cool. He was on my list. Let's go and get a little deep into a little bit of rock and roll. I know who you're thinking, but you're wrong.
No, I don't think about that one.
Okay, so I don't know if you've seen the movie The Dirt, which is the autobiography about the band
I have. It's fantastic.
Motley Crue.
It's not kid friendly.
Not kid friendly. First 5 minutes aren't even adult friendly.
Right.
But Mick Mars is from the state of Indiana.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
great guitarist.
A great guitarist. Terrible about what kind of what he has for that degenerative disease.
Yeah,
that he has. But great movie, great band. That band is in my top 10 of growing up with them and listening to their music and going to see their concerts. But Mick Mars from Indiana.
My buddy Mike Hoppy in Florida went backstage with them, and it was exactly like the movie.
Yeah, I could just imagine. I'm glad I didn't. My brother has been in a rock and roll band for going on 20 years. The name of the band is Emery.
Okay.
And they've been pretty successful. It's an emo group, and I'm glad I didn't get the musical talent because I'd been dead from some kind of disease or alcoholism or drugs. So, you know, it's my God had this path for us. The Billy and Joe Top 10 show.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Who you got? Oh, you give me one. Did you just give me one? Who did you just give me?
Larry Bird, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but then I said Mick Mars.
Yes, you're correct. I'm up.
Tit for tat, my friend.
He was from Washington High School in Indy. He played 1 year. We've talked about him before. He went 1 year at IU and bent the rim. Big Mac, he played with Dr. J in Philly. George McGinnis, and won 3 titles with the Pacers.
Yeah, there's nothing like Big Mac, man, and just as down, even a better person than he was a basketball player.
Without a doubt.
So no, that's fantastic, and it's sad that a lot of these people, I said Carol Lombard, or I said Joanne Worley, or Ernie Pyle. A lot of people are going to be like, let me check this out, let me Google this, but these names are going away.
Without a doubt. Yeah, definitely.
Everybody's getting older. I guess this is why we write stuff down, and this is why we do the show that we do, and that's why I like to keep the nostalgia alive. So, you say Big Mac, I'm gonna roll out. I'm gonna just get them all out of the way here. Um, Talented, maybe a little cuckoo, maybe a little bipolar. Axl Rose. Maybe all three packed together. Or...
I love his music. Off the stage, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you can get, we all don't know what it's like because we're all not famous, but sometimes you just don't know what it's like to get all of that fame and fortune and have to kind of deal with it. You can be down, you can be down and depressed and poor, and you can be down and depressed and have a screwed up mind rich.
Exactly. Yeah. So, a lot of rock stars fall into that trap. They talk about, struggling, and then they make platinum records, and then they're not struggling. So how do you write after that?
Yeah, Rocket Man, great movie about Elton John.
Yeah,
what I'm saying. So it's interesting how people deal with that. To be honest with you, I'd like to try to deal with being very rich and get good therapists and stuff like that, rather than being poor and depressed. So if anybody wants to, I'll put a link into the comment section and go ahead and just cash app me.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
What is this cash app thing, man? Am I getting old?
It's PayPal.
Yeah, I know. Well, I know, man. I know. It's kind of like Skype. No one does Skype unless you're 85 years old and you're talking to your great-great-grandchildren.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I rolled out with Axl Rose.
Mm-hmm. My number 11, which is my final sports person. He's from Crispus Attucks. First, I believe the first black basketball team to win the state finals in Indiana, all black basketball team with a black coach. And he went to the University of Cincinnati and played with the Milwaukee Bucks and the Cincinnati Royals, and he averaged a triple-double his whole career. The Big O, Oscar Robertson.
People don't understand that's 82 games of more than 10 points, more than 10 rebounds, and more than 10 assists. People just don't understand that. That's just what a crazy figure. And a gentleman for social justice and also for equality and pay for the NBA. He did a lot for the NBA that a lot of people don't understand. You should probably Google or get a book on Oscar Robertson to find out what he's done. Very soft-spoken, but a great basketball player, a great humanitarian, and a great person from Indianapolis and from the state of Indiana. It's fantastic.
And people talk about Russell Westbrook, who tied his record last year. And I'm like, that's great. That's 1 year. Try a whole career with that.
Yeah. No, just a fantastic ball player. So, it's just, that'll never go away. So, and thank goodness for you too, to be able to keep that stuff around.
He only got one title. One title.
Yeah, and he worked that out with Lou Alcindor. Yeah, but he's got one. He's also got an NCAA championship, most outstanding college basketball player award. You name the award, he's got it. So,
and he's got an Olympic medal.
Yeah.
Olympic gold medal. So,
yeah. Well, you got to toss some things in here that are just a little bit, kind of like, really? Wow.
Sure.
But I loved watching this TV show. It was about life in the Depression, I think, in either West Virginia or in Virginia. And it was the Waltons. And
sure.
There was Grandma Walton and Grandpa Walton. Grandpa Walton's name was Will Greer, and he was from Indiana.
Night John Boy.
Yep. Night. What man? Night Mama, Night Daddy. Was it Ellie Mae? No, that was Beverly
That was,
Hillbillies.
yeah, right.
Uh,
I can't remember the list.
Man, I'm gonna have to look that up. That's good. Not John Boy.
Right.
And then he went on to be in the movie It and Scare Me to Death.
No, thank you.
Have you seen? Oh yeah. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, what you got that next there, partner? What number
An
you on, by the
author
way?
from Northern Indiana that you may know, Gene Stratton Porter.
Very interesting. Very interesting. We have one also, Kurt Vonnegut.
Oh, love Kurt Vonnegut. Giacomo's has a pizza called the Slaughterhouse Five, which is the meat lovers.
Yep.
Which is fantastic.
Yep. But Kurt Vonnegut is a great author.
Oh, yeah.
What number are you on there, partner?
Number 9.
Number 9. Okay, so did you know that the lead singer of Queen was born in Indiana?
Freddie Mercury?
Adam Lambert.
Funny. The new lead singer of Queen.
Actually, it's not too bad. You're never, ever going to replace Freddie Mercury.
No.
Never. So there was a special on Netflix when we watched it, and there's no way you're going to replace Freddie, but he does a pretty darn good job of keeping a Queen relative.
Have you seen the movie Queen?
Oh yeah, I love it. And
fantastic.
And you know where the guy who played Freddie Mercury went to college?
No.
University of Evansville.
Did not know that.
Not from Indiana, but spent time in Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Yes.
My number 9 pick is famous songwriter Cole Porter.
I have him on my list. Yes. There's a movie where Kevin Kline plays Cole Porter, and Kevin Kline got his degree from Indiana University, not from Indiana, but spent time in Indiana.
Didn't know that.
Yes. Did you know, as Orville said to Wilbur, you're right. Wilbur Wright was from Indiana, was born in Indiana.
I did not know that until I was doing the research on this and found that out.
Yeah. So that's interesting. If not for the state of Indiana, we wouldn't be flying around in those things up in the sky.
This is true.
Yep. I just got in from Indianapolis. Just flew in from Indianapolis, and boy, are my arms tired.
Oh, wow. That's the classic right there. Yes. My number 8, you've already touched on him, Ernie Pyle. He died in World War II.
Yeah.
But his writings are fascinating.
I'm going to tell you, Michael Jackson is my next one. I love his music. His music is just the soundtrack of my life.
Me too.
I'm tired of watching documentaries on what he may have done, what did he do, how he could have done it. I'm just going to lie that to rest, and Michael Jackson rolls in for me. The Gary area and Gary Roosevelt, which is no longer a high school, which is very sad, and we'll go from there.
Refresh my memory on Michael's first solo album. Do you remember that title?
Off the Wall?
Guess who was the studio band for that?
Who?
Toto.
Oh, wow. Rosanna,
yeah, Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones said, hey, you guys need to play on this record.
And who did the solo on Beat It?
Oh, Eddie Van Halen.
And who did the solo on Dirty Diana?
Steve Stevens.
Oh, man, Joe. You're in fuego tonight, man.
Used to be a teacher.
I'm impressed, man. That's nice. That's nice.
You know who sang the backup? No, this is a hard question. You know who sang the backup on Man in the Mirror, the choir?
Would that be she's a chick and she's a crow, Sheryl Crow?
No, Quincy Jones says, I want the best choir in all of America, and he called Andre Crouch. It's the Andre Crouch.
Oh, really? Really? I think Sheryl Crow was a backup singer, I think, at one time. I was getting that a little bit confused.
Yes, and she was also backup with Eric Clapton.
Yeah, true. True.
Yeah.
True. I don't know the big hubbub about her, but she just puts Billy in her songs. So all I want to do is, what is that? All I
Have
want to
some fun.
do is have some fun. Okay. No more singing for the rest of the show. Okay. So,
Okay.
um, is my turn?
Yes, sir.
Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately, Joe?
It's in my list.
Are you in control of that?
Of course I am.
Let's wait a while. You want to wait a while?
That wasn't my favorites, but okay, I'll wait.
Have you ever played that song? It's awesome. It's called the lyric game. You just go back and forth, like like you pick an artist like Tom Petty, and you go, "Don't do me like that."
See, I think a black cat could beat your Hoosiers.
Ah, yes, yes. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop there. Joe wins that round. Tell him what he's won, Bob. Okay, so your turn, I think.
The pride of Greenfield, Indiana, the famous poet James Whitcomb Riley.
Ooh, very nice, very nice. I would have to go with one of the only president of the United States from the state of Indiana, Benjamin Harrison.
Yes, great pick. But what did he do, really? I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty good to be president.
That's true.
That's true. And he has a house called the Benjamin Harrison House that we drive by all the time there when I was in Indianapolis.
And I've never been in it.
3 streets from where you'd get robbed, but
yes.
But I've been there, done that, and but he was president of the United States. If you become president of the United States, hey, the worst thing that you could do by becoming president of the United States is getting sick after your inaugural address and then dying 27 later, like William Henry Harrison did. So,
I was going to say the same thing.
Benjamin Harris, president of the United States. Yeah, that's got to be on top of the list.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Resume builder. Resume builder. You make the top 20 people from the state of Indiana because you're president of the United States.
My number 6 pick is the pride of Muncie, and he created a cartoon. He created Garfield, Jim Davis.
Very nice, very nice.
Ball State grad, I think.
You are correct. You are correct. I have another Ball State grad, but we'll get to him a little bit deeper in the list.
Yeah.
He played Indiana high school basketball. He only made 3 movies, but he makes more money now than ever, and he has passed away. I think it was 1956 in a Porsche Spider, and that is James Dean.
I have him on my list, and if I remember correctly, he created for movies improv acting.
I've heard of that now that you say that, but 3 wonderful movies besides Giant being the least popular, least favorite of mine of the 3 did. But man, just like the Eagles, Eagles did a song called James Dean. He's
sure.
Too fast to live, too young to die.
Yeah.
Yep. But from Fairmont, Indiana, and the Fairmont Quakers, and he played high school basketball and was pretty good.
Very good.
Yep.
That's my number 5 pick, James Dean, and my aunt Nyla was childhood friends with him actually. And they're in Fairmont. I've got family in Fairmont, so he's a credible actor gone too soon.
Yeah. Well, yep, it's right. So who do you have? Who'd you just say?
James Dean.
Oh, that was number 5. So, then, love him or hate him, he was a part of the soundtrack of my life too. Is John Mellencamp, Johnny Cougar, John Cougar Mellencamp, whatever name he's going by today, if he's not getting beat by his kids.
What?
Yeah, it's a long story. I'll have to tell you about it later. But someone who's real cocky, but for years could fill it up and bring good pop music to us. But not my favorite singer, but he is from the state of Indiana. My first wife's dad, my ex-father-in-law, put pink marble in his kitchen, so that's my claim to fame with John Cougar Mellencamp. 48 degrees of separation there.
That's funny. I have a pretty good memory, but my mom said, but I don't remember this. My mom said when I was a young lad that this was my favorite cartoon when I was very young, the Jackson 5.
Ah, yes. Can you name all of them?
Well, there's more than five now.
Yeah. Well, Michael, Janet, Tito.
It's Jackie, Tito, Marlon, Michael, and Randy came later, but that's five.
Why don't you do what you do when you did what you did to me? That was Jermaine, wasn't it?
Yes, one hit wonder.
Yeah,
Oh,
but,
Jermaine.
yeah,
Jermaine
Jermaine
before
Jackson.
Randy.
Jermaine Jackson.
Jermaine was
But
before Randy, right?
I
And
also
he's totally going riding the coattails of Michael now.
the whole family is.
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
You can't blame them, I guess. I mean, I'd do the same thing if But what a sad story, though. Successful,
Yeah.
fantastic, outstanding, but a sad story.
Do you know where they played their first gig?
I don't.
Michael Jackson was five. Okay, I'm not a Joe Jackson guy. I can't stand Joe Jackson at all. I think he's a villain, for one. He took his kids. Michael's five. He took his kids into a Gary, Indiana strip club for their first performance.
I can see it.
I can too. That's
Yeah.
Joe Jackson.
I've read, and it's just like Michael Jackson. There's so many documentaries on it, the good, the bad, and why he did it. What did it do to him? And
Yeah.
they weren't allowed to be kids, man.
Not at all.
When you're not allowed to be kids, it really jacks you up later on in life.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, when mom took me back to the back and burned all my baseball cards, I had a thing for baseball cards for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? When things happen like that to you, you get you're paying attention to these baseball cards more than you are taking notes at church.
Seriously?
Seriously, man. But that's another show, man. It's another show. Okay, what number you on, dude?
Number three.
You can't make this stuff up. Who you got at number
kidding.
3? Who you got at
No
number
kidding.
3? I'm a little bit behind.
Okay. He went. I think he went to Broad Ripple High School. I'm pretty sure he did. And he has a scholarship for all the C students, and he has his own building in Muncie, and fantastic interviewer for the late night show, David Letterman.
And we got to thank Dave because we are doing the top 10 show.
Correct.
So I don't think we stole it on purpose, but thanks, Dave.
Exactly.
Indy car owner, Broad Ripple High School graduate. I grew up on Ralston, and there's Roslyn, and then there's Indianola. He grew up on Indianola, so like literally about 4 blocks from my house was his family home. 1968 Broad Ripple High School graduate. In the right place at the right time all of his life.
Yes.
Blessed, you could say, and I'm always grateful to put him on my list of, especially someone that went to Broad Ripple High School now that it's closed.
Have you seen the Netflix special? My next guest needs no introduction with him.
I've watched a couple of those. I watched the Howard Stern one, and I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. I am really loving comedians in cars drinking coffee.
Oh, me too.
I love that.
Seinfeld's amazing, and his guests are amazing.
Yes. So, David Letterman was number 1 on my list. So.
Okay.
Yep. So you have 2 others?
I have 2 others.
Okay. Take us home, Joe.
Okay. So many cool people on our list. James Dean was the original Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool Part 2. Went to Beech Grove High School, I think. And he was in this. He was in Bullet, where he drove the car down the streets of San Francisco. And Steve McQueen.
I forgot about him. And what's really interesting is when you said that about the Bullet driving around San Francisco, the streets of San Francisco, Carl Malden.
Yeah, sure.
He's from Indiana.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and a lot of people will not know this because we're so old. But you remember he did the American Express cards that don't leave home without it, the
Of
commercial.
course.
And but no, Carl Malden was from Indiana, so that's interesting. But Steve McQueen, you were right. You were right, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to hear what your number one is.
You've already said it.
Oh, me?
Yeah, you've already. What's that?
Me?
Well, you're number 21. You want me to go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Um, I've seen her. I've seen this person 3 times live in concert. Um, I had all of her CDs. I finally got one of her records, and it's Janet Jackson.
Oh, okay, okay. Her and Michael's music about sometimes the same, sometimes not the same. It's
Right.
it's a but both Janet and Michael just great great music.
Yes,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
There's a lot of other people that I looked up on the list that were from the state of Indiana or were born in Indiana. Brendan Fraser was one.
Yeah, you did that in your promo.
Yeah, I was really kind of surprised at that. Dickie Thon, who played for the Houston Astros, baseball player, was born in South Bend.
Mm-hmm.
He had to get there some way from family from Puerto Rico because he's Puerto Rican.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's an interesting who was born there. Some of them chose to get out as quick as they could.
Yes.
Some chose to stay and then get out at the point when they could get out.
Right.
I've been gone from there since 1993.
That's when I graduated most day.
Yeah. But I love the state of Indiana, even though a lot of people say it's landlocked. It's not because there's a beach up there up north off of Lake Michigan.
The dunes. I've been there.
Yeah. So, Joe, looks like our next show, which possibly may be tomorrow evening for everybody out there listening, is going to be our top cartoons.
You want me to give you a little teaser?
Oh, sure.
One of my favorite cartoons, I think they only made 5 from MGM. Have you ever seen Screwy Squirrel?
I have heard of Screwy Squirrel, but I have not seen Screwy Squirrel. I'm not going to say that 5 times in a row either.
Right.
Yeah. So
Tex Avery did Screwy Squirrel for MGM.
Avery did so much. Yeah.
Man.
And my tease will be get set, get ready. Here comes Rough and Ready. They're rough. They're all and steady. Always rough and ready. Do you remember Rough and Ready?
I only saw them once on Boomerang. That plays all the classic cartoons. I only saw it once. It's a great cartoon.
And the neat thing about a lot of these cartoons that I'm going to tell you guys about tomorrow or on our next upcoming show is like Hokey Wolf and his pal Dingaling.
Yes.
There's a Touche Turtle and his pal Dum Dum.
Which you can't do now.
Yeah, and then one of my favorite, and we'll end this little teaser here. A super chicken. Gee, Fred, hand me the super chicken sauce, Fred.
But and you can, I don't think you can find those DVDs out there.
I've looked. I've even subscribed to the Boomerang app, and they don't play the cartoons that were in between Yogi Bear or stuff like that. This will be a fun show, though. This will be a fun show. Joe Carney, as always, fantastic. You can catch Joe Carney's podcast, Indy's Local Flavor, on Anchor.fm, also on Google Play, iTunes, and SoundCloud. You guys have been watching and listening to the Billy and Joe Top 10 show. Today's show was about our top 20 people who were from the state of Indiana that either you did know were from Indiana or you do know now. And upcoming is going to be our top 10 cartoons. Please put down in the bottom anybody that we missed that was from the state of Indiana. You can exclude politics so we won't explode and break the internet. And tomorrow, or our upcoming program, we're going to talk about cartoons. Joe, thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate it.
That's all, folks.